Okay, let's get rid of the cube. Waiting in the wings, Jamie Gavin is Managing Director of Impress Online and joins us. Jamie, good to see you. Now, you say that these social media firms are being used, it's a witch hunt. They're being used as scapegoats, really?
Yeah, 100%. I think the wider media is being scapegoated, particularly by the White House at the moment. And then you go further than that, social media in particular, when you look at the way that Zuckerberg's been paraded around Europe and the Congress and stuff, it's just another example of a scapegoat that these politicians are trying to find to use to explain some of the bad stuff that's going on.
But hang on, but Facebook and Google, sure, you're saying they've got nothing to answer to, though?
No, you know, there are two sides to every story, although it's often weighted more towards one than the other. I think this is a classic case of the regulations and the classifications having to catch up with the technology. We wrote earlier in the year, actually, about how there was a UK report into social media firms, and they said, look, they're neither platform nor publisher. We need to start thinking about these platforms in completely different ways and maybe reclassifying them.
And you sort of touched on it, though, and it's an issue that I raise with a lot of experts in your field, that the legislation, right? So the tech companies, they go flying up here with these, whatever it might be that they've developed, and legislation's back here. But I mean, that's been happening for some time. Are we getting a sense that legislation is catching up?
Such is life. I mean, back when Ford had the car coming out, like via, you know, the assembly line, it took a while for the regulations and highway code to catch up.
True.
This is always the case, but I think they are. The EU slapped Google with a huge fine back in July, I think it was, relating to Android. We see people trying to pull these people up, like a Zuckerberg, before Congress, before the EU. So I think they are starting to get a fix on it from a regulatory point of view now, and to be fair, rightly so.
Is there a point, is it fair, do you think, to say that the likes of Google and the likes of Facebook have been a little slow in cleaning up the whole, or recognising the fake news and cleaning it up?
I would say possibly naive. You know, maybe that's me being naive, saying that they're naive when they're these multi-global richest companies in the world. But I think what happened, we invented these great global egalitarian communications tools, help us to communicate globally, make the world hopefully a better place. They got hijacked. They got hijacked by people like Putin, like Trump, by people who wanted to, unscrupulous people who wanted to use those tools against us. And unfortunately, people like Zuckerberg were a bit naive in not seeing a lot of that coming.
Okay. Well, Jamie, short and sweet, but we appreciate your time and a very interesting take on it. You stay there.
Thank you.
Jamie Gavin joins us. I'll do all the running around.